What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So we back again for another episode review, and on time, for real, for real. Now I know which day should have been doing this, and excuse my voice because I literally just woke up from a nap, and then I decided to watch this. It's my day off, so don't worry about it. But just in case the people be wanting to know and did not know, the All Black app, okay, and it's ALLBLK. That's the name of the whole app. Okay, that's one word. They have the episodes on that app, every episode, and apparently they put the episode up the day that it comes on, or probably the night before, like around 12 o'clock in the midnight or 11 o'clock. But all I know, it was up before, the episode airs on TV. So that's why y'all getting this review at the time. But anyway, so that's a good thing. That's a really, really good thing. And it's commercial free too. So, whew, Lord have mercy. But anyway, let's just get up into this episode. Wow, my throat really is just like, it's been igloo up in here too. So that's probably why it's playing with it too. But anyway, Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup, Season 6, Episode 15, or I should say 14, Diamonds Aren't Forever, or some shit like that. Either way, girl, let's just get into it. This episode was not much, okay? It was not much. I'm just going to go through what we need to go through. Michael and Justina. Listen, at this point, Miguel and Justina, girl, we already knew that they was going to be okay. Okay, we already knew that, it was going to be one of those situations where, he and her have a conversation, and she was really still up in her feelings. Then he keep on bringing it back to the situation that's going on with her and her mom and all that stuff. And I will have to say this. I am glad, and I probably said it before, but I can't remember, but I am glad that Justine and Michael's mama, they're okay now, because after, truth be told, after what Miguel mama did to her and that paternity test and all of that stuff and the way that his sister was acting, baby, we would never be cool again. Okay, you can come see the kids, and truth be told, I wouldn't even want her to see my child. Because first of all, you didn't even think that was your son's child. Okay, so no, we're not doing that. But like I said, this is probably why I'm not a mother. Okay, and a lot of people are a little bit way more mature than I am, and I'm realizing that, because no ma'am. But for the sake of this situation, I'm glad that they are on the same path. They're cool again. Okay, and I'm glad that his mama is not being so like, oh, I'm on your side 100% or whatever. She's seeing it from a woman's perspective. Okay, and the fact of the matter is, you need to go make this situation right, but you also need to give her time to get through what she needs to get through with. And he did come up and say, maybe he made the situation worse, and she got to deal with the fact that he opened up a can of worms again that she had the lid on for a second, and you popped it open when she wasn't ready to deal with it by bringing up the situation with her mama. And the mama was like, yeah, that's basically what it was. Okay, so they had this little conversation, and that's just Justine and Michael. It's nothing to get deep about. Okay, out of all of the couples that I have seen on this show, I have high hopes for Justine, and I'm talking about for the whole series. I have really, really high hopes for Justine and Michael, okay? Yeah, he want to do this, do that. Yeah, she don't really want to work, whatever, and she'll stay at home mom. She wants this, she wants that. But at the same time, I don't see him going back to the life of crime. I do see the genuine love that is between them. And out of all of the couples, they really do know how to, like, I would say, resolve their differences without resorting to being extra nasty and just putting each other down. That little tiff that they had in the last couple of episodes, that really wasn't much, okay? It was a cute little argument, because, some couples out here, they can get real dirty. You got JK calling Brooks all type of bitches and shit, you know what I'm saying? So, it don't get that, it don't get nasty like that. So, I do like them as a couple, Do I need to see them back? No. But if they do, it's fine. I guess they give a little bit of balance with all the mess that's going on the show. So you get this one couple that don't really got that much of a mess. And, they're just the good couple, I guess. You know what I'm saying? They do have a little conversation. Eventually comes to the compromisation. Is that a word? Girl, it's not, but I just made it. Anyway, they just come to the compromisation that, hey, maybe I don't need this barbershop right about now, but, we can do the wedding and we can do this, and then we can go over and do it and, do a little trip to get away, okay? Because we need to get back to us, and let's go to New York and, look at some venues and get your people to come, and I can meet your people and all this stuff. And I like that. Also, the scene with Michael and Melody, that was needed, and I feel real bad for her. And honestly, I feel like out of all of the men, especially who've been in prison or jail for a while, he is one of the ones, especially who has kids, that really, really shows that he regrets what he did. I guess that he regrets what he did, and he's seeing it every day, and you see Melody, he already feels as though he don't want her to go down that path that he went, but he could see it a little bit, and trying to realize that I was not there in her formative years when she needed me. I was gone for 6 or 7 years, from when she was 10 years old. She's now about to be 18, and like she said, this is the only year that she's only been living with him and for a year now. You know what I'm saying? And I feel bad for her. And I knew a lot of the stuff that was happening was because pent up, pain and everything from the trauma of not having a parent with her that she always wanted to be with her, and unfortunately couldn't because he was away. And then also feeling that because he was away, she didn't have nobody to protect her. She didn't have nobody to protect her, so she always had to stand up for herself. Probably had to take up for herself because she probably was getting bullied because she had a parent in jail and doing all of this stuff or whatever. And then now you got your brothers, and I love the fact that his kids are very much not looking at Justine kids as, oh, them just my stepbrothers or something like that, or my stepsisters. No, they're siblings, because ain't no step, ain't no half, ain't none of that. They're my siblings. And that's how she was standing up, especially for Lil Santana, because he has autism. And I knew for a fact that that's what it was. They was making fun of that boy because he has autism, and she was standing up for him. And on that front, I mean, don't get on her ass a little bit too much, but yeah, put it out there that, you got to be a little careful, because you are about to be 18, and that means that you can get arrested and go to adult jail if you do a little bit much, you know what I'm saying? And so she knows that, and when she started crying, y'all know, like, girl, I was just like, hug your baby. And I know he felt so bad in that moment, but I really do like those little talks that he had. You know what? And looks can be deceiving, because I was about to say, the way Michael gives off he gives off Papa Bear type of energy. You know what I'm saying? He gives off, all I want to do is cuddle. You know what I'm saying? Whatever my kids want, I give them. He's just so soft-spoken. He speaks through his nose. He's very nasally. I don't know if that's what it is, but I just can't imagine him being, maybe it's because he cut the hair. Because when he had his hair, I can see him as a street nigga. Y'all know I loved him with his hair. I said, Michael, grow your hair back out. But maybe it's because of the hair. I'm pretty sure. Because, like, he's very much in dad husband mode now. When he had that hair for real, he used to have it down, and he had it down or whatever. Girl, I was like, yeah, I can see you slanging that shit on the street. He was slanging that, slanging dick, slanging everything. I said, yeah, I can see you being in church and all that stuff, doing a little thing here and there and all that or whatever. I can see it. Now he in dead mode, and I just can't see him being out there in the street. But then again, like I said, looks can be deceiving, okay? Push come to shove, sometimes shit just happen, all right? Michael and Justine will be alright. Moving on from that, Kiana and Deandre and Joella, A mess. A mess. Deandre, you should blame yourself, okay? You should blame yourself because at the end of the day, you up here talking about this situation can get you messed up and you don't want to be in the middle of it, but yeah, you put yourself in the middle of it by putting dick on both sides of the six. Like what? What? And do I feel like he being faithful to Kiana? Absolutely not. Do I feel like he's still dropping off dick over there at Juela? Yes, he is. Do I feel like that time when we seen him on here and he he didn't come back until after midnight and he was over there for the baby boy birthday or something like that? Yeah, you was over there digging down Juela. I'm just gonna assume that, okay? It just gives that. But at the end of the day, everybody in this situation is stupid. And Kiana, you don't have to put up with it. You don't have to put up with it. But see, you want to put up with it. Baby, ain't no way in hell you finna embarrass me and you finna make me feel the way that you making her feel. Absolutely not. Okay? Baby, if you gotta choose, if you gotta go off and be with somebody else, be with that person. All right? That's just what it is. And if you can't keep your girl in line or whatever, I mean, you grown. But you gotta put your foot down too. You gotta put your foot down and say, baby, this is not what it is, okay? This is my girl. And it is what it is. We're not doing nothing else like that. And see, this is what happens when you blur lines and you cross boundaries and then you try to get into other relationships without ending the other one. That's just what goes on. And Juela, I'm going to tell you this. Truth be told, it's a possibility Kiana did do that. Now, see what happened with Kiana. Now, Kiana, if you did do this, girl, you dumb as shit. You the dumb hoe, okay? You the dumb hoe. So basically, what wound up happening is she got a call while she was at work, and basically a police report was filed against her by Juela because Juela claims that she came outside and she saw that it was dumb hoe written on her windshield in the back of her window, her back window, and then all of her tires was flattened. Okay. Now my thing is, if Kiana didn't do this, which I would hope she didn't, but given the way that things have been going, like honestly, at this point in time though, when you think about it, if you got the man, why would you go over there and you do this and put yourself in jeopardy like this? And not only put yourself in jeopardy, but you put him in jeopardy because, like he said, if you get charged with this and you get a case or whatever, it's gonna be a possibility that they can't even stay in the same room together. They can't live together. You know what I'm saying? So why would you put yourself in this type of predicament? It doesn't make sense. I know we working off of emotions and all this stuff, but sometimes we gotta think. So Kiana, if you did do this, you dumb as shit. Like I said, you really the dumb hoe in this situation. But honestly, given how messed up and how, you know, back and forth and trifling this whole situation is, I wouldn't be surprised if Juela could have possibly did it herself. Okay, people are psychotic when they come to certain things and they trying to win and make another person look bad. Because like Kiana said, she want to break them up because in her mind she probably think once they break up for real, he gonna go back over there to her, which probably won't even happen. Okay, and again, why would you want to be with somebody that cheated on the person that they were with to be with you? Meaning that they have a pattern of doing this. They have a pattern in their history of doing this. So you really think that you're going to be the one that's going to stop them? Absolutely not. Why do you want to play around in that toxicness? Y'all, just because y'all got kids don't mean that y'all need to be together. Okay? But at the end of the day, Kiana, if you did this, you stupid as hell. Okay? And you deserve the consequences that come to you. Because why? Why? If you didn't, listen, and honestly, I really feel as though, mind y'all, Deandre got more than one baby mama. We forgot all about that. Now, I'm not trying to say that the other baby mamas got anything to do with this situation, but I truly do feel he probably talking or he doing something with other women too. So it could have been anybody else, okay? But at the end of the day, this is just all dumb. And this whole thing about bringing Kiana to the baby's birthday party, stop that. Stop that. I'm with Juela. Don't bring that bitch, okay? Don't bring her because it's just too much. Because at this moment in time, it's just going to mess up the birthday party, all right? Y'all know y'all can't be civilized and act like mature adults, all right? And then the kids are going to be the one that suffers. Don't let the kid come and don't let Kiana come. That's all I got to say about that. Cut it right then and there. Courtney and Will. Now, usually I like to call people cheap bastards. But in this case, you did it right. Ma'am. Courtney, what did you think? Courtney, it was a game the whole time. It was a game the whole time. She's not broken up about this whole situation between her and Will. Will then went down there to see the lawyer. Okay? He went to see the lawyer. And the lawyer said, how long y'all been together? Oh, we was married for like 6 weeks or whatever. Oh, so, you probably won't have to owe no alimony or nothing like that. Probably get that thing annulled. Go ahead and file those papers. And I would be so embarrassed having to tell the lawyer or anybody else that I started talking to this person while they was in prison. We got married, and then they came back out and fucked the shit up, and I got played in the end. Baby, I would have been sitting there looking at you like, well, your first mistake was talking to somebody that was in prison behind bars who needed money and all of that stuff from you, because that's what you were providing. You were providing a servitude of money. You was providing a way for her to make it through prison so that she can get what she want, how she want, when she want, because she's so used to getting whatever she wants and using men for that. And you were just another pawn, and that's just all that it is, okay? And she's still over there talking to Mark. Mark up there talking about some he a fool and all this shit. Mark, you need to be quiet. Because at the end of the day, at least he was able to get the girl, have relations with the girl that she actually wanted to be with, at least for a second, and was able to marry her. You can't even get the draws, okay? And you giving money and money and money and money, all of this just so that you can get some, and you haven't gotten any at all yet. So who's the fool? And I'm pretty sure you probably been talking to her way longer than she been talking to Will for this relationship to be built up the way that it has, okay? So, no. And now I'm pretty sure when she was on that phone and the person that was going to give her that $600 for rent for that room, that was him. He was going to pay it because he said, why don't you come stay with me? Bitch, she said absolutely not. But, her other sponsor, whatever, Danny, he got her a room at another place and all this stuff. And so it's going to be $600 a month. And I'm like, where you getting the money from? She tried to go to the store to pawn the ring and the coat that he gave her, that Will gave her, while she was with another friend that she used to fuck around with while they was up in prison, who still got a thing for her. Oh girl said, you should just be with women. I said, you know what? Honestly, a younger part of me would have said, oh, that'll make it all better. But knowing how I know bitches let me not say that. Women ain't no better than men, okay? So this whole, I keep on telling y'all that. Truth be told, you'll get hurt worse when you in a same-sex relationship. Especially when it comes to women, because them emotions, them feelings, it's deep, bitch. It's deep, and that's why they go so hard so quick. That's how come you fall so quick, because we so emotional, all right? And we already in tune with our feelings. Well, some of us, okay? Sometimes I just be like, girl, what the fuck? Not like, no. And Mac, she'll do that bitch dirty too. Okay? She'll do her dirty once she gets her. All right? It just gives that. Baby, they went to that pawn shop. Will said that ring was 2 carats. It's $10K for each carat. I want $20,000. Miss Lady said $20,000. You sure about that? And as soon as she said that, I knew that ring was fake as fuck, right? Okay. Now, I didn't know it was as fake as it was, but I knew it wasn't worth no damn $20,000 when she said, you sure about that? Baby. It gave very much, for those that had used to watch and for those that don't, I need y'all to go look up Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, Life Jennings and Carly Red. When Life Jennings gave her that ring and she passed out because it was so big. And I'm like, Carly, stop playing, bitch. Stop playing. You can see that ring is not real, girl. And then when she said yes and all that stuff, baby, the ring was fake as fuck. The ring was fake as fuck. It was like a popcorn ring, okay? It literally was like one of those rings that you get out the goddamn candy machine. I said, girl, you couldn't see that. Which brings it back to them at this pawn shop. She went and got the detective to see if the ring was real, the diamond and all that stuff. And they said if it light up green, it's real. If it don't, it ain't real or nothing. We gonna see where it goes. Bitch, that shit did not light up at all. And when they put the camera on it, I'm looking at it. I said, that shit foggy as fuck. It don't even look clear. It looks, and mind you, I ain't got the best eyes in the world. Okay? But even on my TV, I can see that that don't even look like a Zubik zirconia. Now I said, listen, maybe it's a Zubik. Maybe it's a cubic zirconia. I don't know. Okay? Maybe it's a man-made diamond. I don't know. Will said, absolutely not. It's neither. The lady said, bitch, this ain't no goddamn diamond. This ain't no damn jewel at all. It's costume. I can give you about $6 for it. I said, God damn. I said, that's what you get, Courtney. That's what you get. All right. That man said, I want a divorce. And I'm pretty sure, no, he said, we done. He was like, I'm about to break up with you. And a lot of us know when we in relationships, especially if this is the first time that we get into an argument and the person pull out that, I'm gonna break up with you. 9 out of 10, that ain't what we finna do. We just in our feelings, okay? Give us a couple of days, we'll calm the fuck down and we'll talk about it, all right? It'll be out to the good. We ain't finna break up. This bitch, her instincts was to just go to the pawn shop and pawn the ring. You couldn't even wait and see because the producers was asking Will, are you sure that this is what you want to do? And he was literally like, I don't know. Will, stick to it. I hope you went on ahead and said, fuck this bitch. Especially after you synced this. You know, because she didn't even give that shit a chance to wait and let it breathe, okay? Then she go and call her mama and ask her mama for some money. Mind you, she asked Mark for money. Mark said, hey, how much money you need? Before this, she said $60. Give me like $60. He gave her 60. Now she only got 50. I said, what you use that 10 on? But, you know, you got all of that going on, right? She gets on the phone with her mom, and she, mind you, earlier she was like, and I can't even go and talk to my mom. I can't go see my mom because I can't go back to Washington State because I got a warrant out there for GTA, Grand Theft Auto. When is Grand Theft Auto, the new Grand Theft Auto video game coming out? Because, baby, is it next year? I'm pretty sure it's next year, right? But what month? Anybody know the date? Put the date down in the comment because, yeah, I will be getting... Y'all, I'll be up in here. Okay, yeah, I'll be doing my thing. I'm getting back into my gamer mode, okay? Because back in the day, I used to be a gamer. I really did. But, you know, I kind of grew up a little bit. I thought those things were childish and life hit you. And then, you know, I'm like, actually, it's quite relaxing, so I get again. So let me go ahead and do this again. But anyway... yeah, she can't even go back to the state because she got warrants and she'll go back to jail for a long time probably, especially because you let the warrant keep going on and on and on instead of just going ahead and taking care of it. She called up mama. Her mama said, so the only time that you called me and you want to talk to me is when you asked me for something. And at the end of the day, I ain't got it. I love you, but no. And she was like, okay, love you, mom. And then this is how you know that this person is not ready to change and that they think that everything should be revolving around them. When she said, my mom and Will like to gang up on me. And they like to make me feel as though I'm the one that's doing all of the wrong. And when she found out the shit about the ring, she said, this whole time, you know, Will want to point out my flaws and trying to make it seem like I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I'm to blame for all of this stuff or whatever. But yet he never says anything about take accountability and respect for what he done and all this stuff. What has he done? The only thing that he has done was being stupid enough to trust you and marry you and want to actually think that you could be a housewife, be a wife, not even a housewife, but be a human, a decent human being, a loving human being, a faithful human being, a drug-free human being. That's what he thought. You couldn't even do that. And so because he won't give you money, he won't put up with your bullshit, he's holding you accountable for the mess that you're doing. And your mother is doing the same thing by not giving you money and enabling your behavior. Oh, they're ganging up on you. Get the hell up out of here. I wish you nothing but the worst, Courtney. Moving on from that, that whole scene with Troy, when he went back to Buffalo to be with his family and to see what was going on with his brother. I feel so bad for Troy. And Troy may have his faults and flaws, but in this particular situation, I feel bad for him because there's a pattern and we can see what the pattern is. All he know is toxicity. And I understand that he's trying to get away from it, but he really hasn't. He literally got a mom. He's in a relationship with his mama. I'm gonna tell you why. His mother is selfish. Okay? His mother is all about herself. Me, 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 me. I ain't got time to be watching after no grown-ass men or whatever. The way that she talked about her son, that clearly you can see he is suffering. He is going through it. If he can't be stable and they keep on trying to get in contact with him, nobody knows where he's at. And then you know that mentally things ain't all the way right. I'm coming to you because my sister is calling me saying, I can't get in contact with our brother. Something ain't right. He's going off the deep end and all this stuff. And I'm coming to you, a woman that's supposed to be my mother, and I'm supposed to love and care for and all that stuff, and she's supposed to do the same thing for me and my siblings. And I'm telling you what the hell is going on with my brother, and you talking about some, well, I don't know where he at. You know, he I ain't finna be checking up and keeping up with no grown ass man. He grown. I ain't gotta do all that. That disgusted me so bad. It disgusted me so bad because we see it a lot. We see it a lot, and it's unfortunate. And it just brings back the point of just because you can't reproduce and you can't have kids don't mean that you should. Everybody is not meant to be a father. Everybody is not meant to be a mother. Okay? And she was not meant to be a mother. She don't know what love is, and 9 out of 10, she was never loved herself. So therefore, she putting it back off on her kids as well. That's why she's self-medicating herself. We saw her last week. I was so goddamn surprised that they didn't blur out the fact that she was rolling that blunt. Yeah. And then she kept on telling us each and every time we saw her since the very beginning about her being high, you know, or need to go get a drink. That's literally what she was saying. And is you having a conversation. Your son, who just got out of prison, is more so concerned about his brother than you are about your own son that came out of your body. Okay? You are not worried about the fact that your child can end up dead. And you already have a child that is already dead. One who was in prison for years. The other one is struggling and going down that same path of self-destruction. And you don't give a damn. It's and you're and I am upset with her, but I can also see clearly she been through some shit in her life. She never had nobody to be there for her, obviously, that cared enough to get her help, that cared enough to sit down and actually talk to her, to love her and all of that. Because if she did, she wouldn't be responding to the situations that's going on with her kids the way that it is. She wouldn't be responding to life the way that she's doing. She wouldn't be self-medicating the way that she's doing so frequently and just so out in the open with it. She wouldn't be so nonchalant to the troubles and to the pain that her kids are going through. She don't give a damn. Because in her mind, ain't nobody give a damn about her. And I guarantee you that's really what it was. That's really what it is. And then you get that, and so it still fuck her because you can break cycles. You could break cycles. And I see Troy trying. He trying a little bit. He got to do a little bit more. He got a little bit more work to do. But you still in that cycle too because you wind up getting with a bitch that's just like your goddamn mama. Selfish as shit. Toxic as fuck. But hey, that's literally what I see. And I was like, damn, that shit. Bitch, maybe I should go to school and for psychiatry so I can be a therapist or some shit. Did y'all see that thing, if you on TikTok, about that lady who fell in love with her therapist and then tried to make it seem like he was the one that was, you know, trying to get at her and do all this shit to her? Bitch. Yeah, she was, she needs psychotherapy. You know, she is a psychiatrist and a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know, because that girl, and then she a life coach or some shit like that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But anyway, yeah. So, they wind up getting in contact with Vaughn, and he and the sister went and go pick him up. They went to go see the brother in the grave. That scene, I ain't gonna lie, it made me cry. It made me cry because, like, first of all, I already got this thing when I see grown black men cry. Because, and I say black men, I gotta distinguish that because in the society that we live in, and especially in our culture and within our community, it's always saying that, men ain't supposed to cry, and especially it's harder on black men. You got to be all strong, and you got to show masculinity and all this stuff, and if you cry, you a bitch and all this or whatever. No, it's okay to be in touch with your emotions. You are feeling the loss of your brother. You seeing what's going on with your other brother. You are the oldest at this point, and you don't want nothing else to happen with your siblings. And you probably feeling guilt for the simple fact that my brother is gone, and I did the same thing that happened to me, to them, my younger siblings, not being there. Because I guaranteed you, because his brother passed away, that's the reason. And the fact that he didn't have the love from his mama, the guidance from his mama, that's the reason why Troy probably went down the road that he went to that led him into jail. And in all those years that he was up in jail, his brother was going through the mess that he's going through now. Don't have a stable home. He's a young father. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff. No stability in his life. Mentally messed up. And he probably feel that guilt that if I would have been there, he probably wouldn't have had to go through all this. I could have helped him. I could have guided him somewhere else. And now he got to show him, you got to get your shit together because you don't want to be like our brother who is no longer here. And the way that they said that he got killed to gun violence. What is that, like 4 to the chest, 1 in the back? Damn. That was sad. That was sad. And I really hope that, Vaughn is doing okay. I really do hope that. Troy, please get away from that girl. Moving on from that, Brooke and JK, bitch. This is a trailer trash type shit. And I don't mean that in no offensive way. So please don't get offended. But baby, this shit is actually, I'm sitting here, I'll be looking forward to the mess that's finna happen because each and every goddamn time when it comes to Brooke and JK, it is always something. We get a revelation with something new each and every time. Last week, it was the pregnancy that could possibly be happening. The week before that, it was probably, it was Brooke losing her job. Then before that, it was JK going over there to Alex's house. Baby, this week, it's a combination, okay? So, at this point, I thought that Brooke was living with her mama, and I forgot that she was staying in the home. Her and Bonnie was staying in the house together. And I forgot all about that, okay? And so that was the whole reason why she went over there to talk to Bonnie. One, tell her, listen, girl, you're going to have to pay your part of the rent because I can't keep floating, okay? That's the whole reason why I'm letting you stay because, bitch, we got to go half and half. Okay, cool. But because Bonnie went and told, all right, Brooke went to the hospital, to the doctor to go do a blood test to see if she is really pregnant. We don't get the results back probably until next week, right? And she been telling us that, ever since this whole situation went down, and especially after she told him that she was possibly pregnant, she ain't really been hearing from JK, right? And so, he do got a job or something. I guess that little situation that he was talking about with the dropping off the stuff and picking it up, he finally got that, and I think he got a car now, right? And so she was like, and he's off his ankle monitor too, because he got the job, now he's off the ankle monitor, so he free to do whatever, right? And so he really ain't been trying to talk to her like that. They ain't been seeing each other. She thinking he's still up in his feelings or whatever about the whole job thing and all that. Okay, cool. But when we see him, he is driving somewhere. I thought he was driving to go to work or whatever. Brooke is calling. He's saying, "Oh, this bitch calling again." Ignore the calls each and every time. Oh, he's over her. He's over her. Why? Because he pulls up at Alex's house. Alex said, come on up in here because I got something urgent to tell you. It's very important. I said, bitch, what's going on? And she said, take the mic off. Bitch, everybody was taking mics off on this episode. Kiana told Deandre that too. I was just like, oh, okay, what's going on? So then, we ain't see them and whatever. And then we get to Brooke. She do the blood test and all that stuff. She, of course, she still can't get in contact with JK. She goes over there to her home and she sees that Bonnie is there. And she was like, what this bitch doing here? Listen, I told the bitch she had to get the fuck out because she going over there running her mouth to JK after I told her 2 times, don't say nothing to JK. Don't say nothing to JK. It's because she wanted to open up her mouth to say the shit to JK. This is why we in the situation we in. No, y'all in the situation because you a liar. But at the same time, Bonnie is messy as fuck. And I actually like this messy bitch, okay? Bonnie don't give a fuck, bitch. Bonnie, listen, at this point, Bonnie, I tried to take up for you and be like, yeah, I tell JK because I'm friends with him before y'all friends with you. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's like, bitch, you just like to be messy. You just like to be messy, bitch. Because you like, girl, I don't really give a fuck about JK and I really don't give a fuck about you. Because these secrets are not going to stay here with me. I'm telling. And I said, what? You ain't got no loyalty to nobody. But listen, and I knew exactly the reason why she told Brooke what she told her. Because it was a little get back bitch, okay? You know, she's a petty bitch. And I from one petty bitch to the next, I could dig it. And I'm only really saying this because I don't like Brooke. I just don't like her, you know. And so she was like, so what you doing here? She was like, listen, bitch, I'm getting the rest of my stuff. Okay, cool. And I was like, well, you got somewhere to stay? She said, I found a place. Oh, okay, that's good or whatever. See, bitch, you still could have been here had you not opened up your mouth and told JK the shit that I told you. Well, bitch, I had to tell him because at the end of the day, it felt like it was a detrimental situation and I needed to tell her. Okay, well, since you feel like it was a detrimental situation, you could get your detrimental ass up out of here. Okay, bitch, you know, and let me just tell you this. Keep me out of y'all shit because at this moment, like, I'm really tired of being the go-between between both of y'all, okay? Because it's really irking my nerve. Okay, well, bitch, you can fucking go. Listen, because me and JK, once we figure this shit out, we'll be all right. If only you knew. What you talking about if only I knew? Bitch, well, let me tell you this. You ain't been seeing JK in a minute, huh? That's because his ass been over there fucking around with Alex, and Alex just miscarried his baby. Bitch, what you talking about? Nah, you ain't playing. You playing. Yeah, the timeline adds up. And that's what she told me. She texted me this, and she texted me the receipts, and that the doctor said it was a miscarriage and all of this stuff. I'm sitting here like, bitch, he did that shit. Brooke is trying to save face and trying to be like, I don't believe it. But it was that one time when he was over there at Alex's house when I tracked him, whatever, and he was over there for 45 minutes, so ain't no telling what went down. And I mean, the timeline do kind of add up if you want to put it like that. But, you know, Alex could be lying because she trying to get my man back and all this stuff. I said Alex probably could be lying, but because she was like, what woman would actually do some stuff like that? Plenty of women do. A lot of people do that shit. But hey, I get it. You trying to save face, girl. You trying to save face. At the end of the day, your man did that shit. And I do believe that he was over there fucking around with her. Especially when he was pissed off with you. And if you listen to what he said when he was in the car talking, and he said he ain't got the monitor on, and it's like so surreal that he can go where he want to go. He can sleep over where he want to sleep over. He wasn't talking about Brooke. Because he ain't been seeing Brooke. Yeah. And basically, Bonnie said, oh, yeah, they been fucking around and seeing each other ever since he got out. Ever since before he got out. I said, child, Brooke, you should have known. Like, I mean, you had your suspicions, but you the one that went on ahead and said you wanted this man to be your baby daddy. And you have an egg on your face because it's like, we over here purposely, I'm trying to give you a baby, and then you over there accidentally, oopsie, I done got her pregnant while I'm over here really trying to get pregnant for you, and you done got another bitch pregnant. I said, girl, that's the whole reason why the people was telling you not to get pregnant by the man. That's one of the whole reasons. Then she go over there talking to Kathy. Mind you, Kathy at work, and she said, I'm in my second job. Meanwhile, Brooke ain't out here looking for no damn job. Girl, what is wrong with this picture? This older woman is out here breaking her back. And you up here doing what? Worrying about a man? Child, come to find out, they was thinking that JK could possibly be back on that stuff. Girl, Kathy said it's a possibility, you know. And I said, what? She said, I got these videos. JK on that stuff. Now, I was looking at the videos, and when Brooke said it could possibly be alcohol, and I said, no, that is not alcohol. I know how alcohol make you do. That is not alcohol. Okay? Trust and believe. And given the fact that I work where I work, and it's a lot of unhoused people, we got regular unhoused people that come in, and a lot of them use drugs. And the way that he was nodding off, that's the way they nod off. Standing right there, and they just all of a sudden nod off like that, and they just still, that's not alcohol, baby. That is drugs, okay? And he back on the stuff. And I'm sitting here like, now you want to rethink the things, and I hope that you're not pregnant by him, because look what he doing. He going backwards. What the fuck did you think was going to happen? He got freedom now. I don't feel bad for nobody in this situation. I don't, because y'all should have known. But anyway, was that everybody? Because last week I almost forget somebody. Deandre, you know, and them, Kiana, Miguel and Justina, JK in Brooklyn, Courtney and Will, I feel like that's it. Because we didn't get Letitia and Keith. We didn't get Bianca and Daniel. There it is. Okay. But anyway, you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Please be safe. Have fun. But be safe. And I'll see y'all later. Peace.